an update in regards to a collaboration that myself and Channing provided to you not that long ago in regards to Quant, SpaceX, and of course, even NASA. This one will be more emphasis on Starlink and listen to this Oracle update. Yes, key things in regards to Oracle and a little bit of Ripple XRP part of that mix. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. And if anything, this benefits the channel, the decent wallet. You had to get a discount through people like myself. So check that out and we'll come right back. If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. It's just a few taps. You can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure. Okay, welcome back. Channing and I are going to jump into a brief video first before we get into the weeds of what matters. What's going to come up on your screen is from Construction Trader ETH at C_traders. One of the best in the business when it comes to research, so always appreciate this, brother. But let's go ahead and show this to you as if you don't already know. Well, guess what? Some people don't, because some people are new. Let's face that. So let's go ahead and play this. It's only 1 minute. Listen to what Gilbert Verdian of Quant Network has to state here, and we'll jump right back. We appreciate you. Here we go.
What actually has happened is we've met lots of different types of people within Oracle, introduced to different types of customers. We've been, deploying our technology within Oracle Cloud, so OCI. But more importantly, we've actually created a new partnership with Oracle. So our product, so Overledger is our technology. So Overledger is an API gateway that allows anyone to build and benefit from a multi-DLT solution. So you don't have to be picking one or another blockchain. You can use all of them with our technology. So this partnership has basically allowed Oracle to certify us and our technology to be used for Oracle blockchain platform. And that's quite amazing for someone our size. We're able to access the Oracle customer base. We're working very closely with the product team, with OBP. We did a webinar together about a month ago, and we jointly presented and showed the tech working.
Okay, to jump more into this, we're going to share with you the next particular part of this segment of Oracle. Again, constructiontrader.eth at C_traders with a Z. He says, this is a video from Oracle breaking down exactly what Overledger's role is in the OCI blockchain platform. Again, citing QNT. On this one, we'll play it, and then after that, we'll jump right to Channing and get his thoughts and insight in that regard. So again, another one. Let's go ahead and play it real quick, and then we'll jump back. Here we go.
Just as a quick introduction, I mentioned we are based on Hyperledger Fabric from Hyperledger Foundation, which is part of the Linux Foundation, that umbrella. The blockchain platforms that you can create either in Oracle Cloud, or we also have an enterprise edition software appliance you can deploy on premises. Consists of Hyperledger Fabric nodes. So you have the peer nodes, which have copies of the ledger, and you have smart contracts ability, so you can run smart contracts on those peer nodes. You have an ordering service nodes, which is a separate type of nodes that take as input transactions that have been executed through the smart contracts and the outputs, read-write sets signed by the peers, and then group them and sequence them into blocks. And those blocks are then sent back to the peer nodes to be validated and added to the ledger, one transaction at a time. So this is the fundamental capability in Hyperledger Fabric. And the reason peer nodes and ordering nodes are separated out is that you can scale them independently, and you can assign them to different participants independently, and so on. There's also membership service. This is one of the key characteristics of a permissioned blockchain. Everybody is a legal entity known member, issued a certificate, X509 PKI certificate, and you could have enrollments and multiple users under that certificate enrollment and so on. But fundamentally, everything is signed using PKI technology, and all of those certificates have been associated with a particular identity. So there is built-in identity management integration here. Now, we have added to the community edition of Hyperledger Fabric, a lot of Oracle enhancements, a lot of operations and management tooling, both the web UI console makes it much easier to create and manage and operate and troubleshoot, as well as DevOps APIs, a very rich set of REST APIs to do all of the operations and administration changes, configurations through the REST APIs. We have added an API gateway that provides orchestration capability that allow us to run smart contracts, invoke them through REST APIs, synchronous and asynchronous, subscribe to events and get notifications and callbacks with reliable delivery, and provide orchestration across multiple chains and multiple other resources using two-phase commit, which I'll touch on as well. All of this is supported by underlying infrastructure, pre-assembled container management using Docker Swarm, high availability deployments out of the box. You could deploy across multiple cloud data centers in the region for high availability, dynamic scaling. You can add resources and move them around, built-in identity management, zero downtime patching. And we've also focused a lot on confidentiality and security auditability, which are very critical in business applications. Fine-grained access controls, so chain code can determine if somebody is allowed to perform a particular operation. On-chain access control list, configuration audit log on-chain as well. So every configuration change is actually recorded as a blockchain transaction for immutability and can be retrieved through event subscription. Block integrity verification, you could walk through for auditing purposes and recalculate the integrity of all of the blocks and so on. We've also created capabilities to integrate this variety of applications out there in the business environment. The blockchain is not going to sit there standalone. It's going to be integrated with SaaS or on-premise applications with the Oracle third parties, and we see a lot of interest in integrating it with supply chain management, ERP applications, HCM, human capital management, HR onboarding kind of use cases, whereas on-premises applications. And so we provide REST APIs. We provide strong integration adapters for particular applications in Oracle Cloud, as well as we support open source Hyperledger Fabric client SDKs. On the right-hand side, I talked about our Enterprise Edition, which is also the same platform, but available outside of Oracle Cloud as a VM, as well as integration, interoperability with other non-Oracle Hyperledger Fabric nodes, which allow you to create networks across multiple clouds. In fact, we have multi-cloud deployments today in production using multiple vendors' Fabric nodes. And then also integration to stream the ledger updates as they come in to Oracle database, where you can apply analytics, visualizations, machine learning, and the like to enrich your experience and the user experience based on the blockchain ledger data.
Okay, before we kick it over the chain, just one quick thing, because yes, this guy is sharing quite a bit of material, which is awesome, but Construction Trader ETH did an excellent job of putting some emphasis on the highlights. So that video that you guys just saw, check this out. As it comes back up on your screen, here is the frozen frame, if you will. And basically what we're going to share here is this. It's this key emphasis. Look at this for a second. I mean, man, this is incredible. So OCI blockchain platform. Look at this. QNT as in Quant. API, gateway, and events. That's your API orchestration layer, if you will. The Overledger. And we see how this kind of comes together, to say the least. So, Channing, definitely want to get your take on this, sir, with the findings so far from Construction Trader ETH.
Okay, so what people have to truly understand and realize is exactly what Overledger is and exactly how Oracle is using it. Oracle has 430,000 companies across the world that taps into them in some way or another. And as these customers start deploying and diving deeper into the Web3 space, because let's just face it, we're going into the digital age. So over the next, let's just say 5 years, all these customers will have blockchains, okay? So Oracle is tapping into an operating system that is blockchain agnostic, which meaning that once all of these customers start to deploy blockchains, they have a system that they all can tap into and still seamlessly integrate and still do business. And I'm more than sure some of these customers are customers and have relationships with each other as well. Understand that Overledger and that API capability that any blockchain can tap into and then do business with any other blockchain in existence is critical for the infrastructure of that. It is the same reason why, like we've reported on in the past, that England itself literally is utilizing Overledger for all of their Web3 things. Because, of course, everything will have, Web3 blockchains associated with it. Like we went through it before. We even talked about like the EMT and the police department, and all these other things that you don't think would have blockchain associated with it, one day will. So going back to Oracle, their 430,000 customers will now have access to a operating system so where they can seamlessly integrate when they're ready into Web3 and never miss a beat as far as their processes and daily flows are concerned. He talked about so many things as far as supply chain. He touched on every part of what a business could be and how their system is integrating those businesses together. And to know that Quant is literally a piece of the fabric of that system for their customers to build on top of, that's incredible. And just think, that's just one Quant partner with 430,000 other companies under their umbrella. Now think of all the rest of them that we know about. That is insane to think about. To understand that one day, if they're utilizing Oracle services, they will be tapping into Overledger. It's no if, no ands, no buts about it. It's literally right there, black and white, boom, right on the screen. Crazy.
Another thing we want to share with you guys, really appreciate Channing's summary that he does so well explaining these things, is it's understanding like people want examples of, well, what would Oracle realistically add to Quant? People don't call it realistically. They say, some of that potential. Oracle is an established name with some huge connections. So I do like this example from Construction Trader ETH, and we'll just pull it up on the screen for just a brief moment. He mentioned specifically here that Oracle alone will add $10 billion to Quant's market cap. My God. I mean, if you think about that, that's some pretty big stuff to say the least, I mean, that's going to make Quant have an incredibly high valuation. And we've done these examples numerous times. So without derailing this too much, I want to point out some other key things here. And basically, Construction Trader ETH has a little bit more. And we're going to pull this up. So as you can see right here, he goes on to mention that when it comes to specifically to cross-ledger integrations, we have certified a partner solution, Overledger from Quant Networks, and are exploring Hyperledger Cactus project, which also provides a strong cross-ledger capability. One of our short-term objectives is to simplify asset exchange for tokens. And like it says, between Oracle blockchain and other ledgers, we believe existing solutions are somewhat complex and not always sufficiently robust for enterprise use. Again, think about this. Not for retail use, enterprise use. That means their focus is not on retail. As pointed out before, that it's not going to be until 2027, 2028. So even though they're somewhat quiet, and yes, you have seen Gilbert Verdian kind of come out of the woodwork, again, understand the terminology here. So we have integrated a more robust solution for atomic asset exchange with Ethereum in our orchestration layer. And it's not just Ethereum. We've seen XDC, we've seen Ripple XRP, we've seen Stellar, heck, even Bitcoin. Crazy stuff. Getting further into this, Construction Trader ETH has this other thing. And he talks about how there's more conclusive evidence that proves QNT is basically the universal interoperability provider. It's from the world's leading database company, Oracle. Well, we are talking about Oracle. So if anything, let's get more into this. And what do we basically have? Well, we know that when it comes to Quant, we know that they have that Hyperledger update that happened back in roughly, I want to say March of 2022. And so we've been there, done that, but 3 facets of blockchain interoperability. So for one, we kind of have an idea about all this, right? Hyperledger Fabric, the whole thing with Oracle, Microsoft Azure, Alibaba. But this part, when we get further down to it, look what it says in regards to Oracle, okay? So it says Oracle FinTech partner, yes, Quant, has been working with Oracle and the Oracle blockchain platform team to address these challenges with a production-ready solution. Okay, what would that solution be? Think about it. Overledger, the OVN, Overledger Network. The partnership has resulted in Oracle certifying that Overledger is going to be used for interoperability with Oracle blockchain platform. And again, how many times did we mention about the whole thing of JP Morgan selecting Oracle, right, as part of its ecosystem, using their infrastructure? And Oracle is part of Quant Network's ecosystem. Put two and two together. For customers looking for production-ready infrastructure to support cross-ledger interoperability between Oracle blockchain platform and other ledger technologies, Quant provides an immediate, available solution certified in the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. Why would it be certified? As Channing and I have always mentioned, through standards, right? Getting further into this, let's take you to this next particular page, and that is this. Some people want to understand the whole thing of the clients. Well, good point. I would want to point that out as well. I would want somebody to explain that to me as well. So in the next page from Construction Trader East, we'll definitely tag them, give them some props. Designed to deliver universal interoperability between permission and permissionless DLTs, Quant's solution is aimed at what? Customers that want to be DLT agnostic. Hey, don't take our word for it. You know, it's understanding that, guess what, everybody? You have to keep in mind that, let's face it, just because we put emphasis on being blockchain agnostic, understand that this is following suit of what enterprise want. They don't want to jump through the hoops of training a whole bunch of people to learn a bunch of code and this and that and be postponed on production ready in 10 months to a year or more out. They want something that's going to be a solution for them, you know, like Chang has mentioned, maybe weeks out, months out, but not too far out. And if anything, have templates already made. Again, that whole concept of 0 lines of code. So when we get further into this and kick it back to the Channing here in a bit, I want you to understand that businesses truly need, like it mentions here, to move digital assets from one DLT to another. Organizations that need to orchestrate transactions between different permission DLTs. Think about the orchestration or organizations that literally came together. Your cities, hence the whole thing of the RLN testing this with those pilots that they did. And last but not least, customers, clients that use different DLTs need those DLTs to interoperate in order to access, of course, new markets. Right. Like not just cross-border, but, you know, it could be any market. Real-world asset tokenization means literally things like real estate and, well, you name it, right? There's so many different industries. So, again, I want to just pull up this next part, but before I do want to kick it back to Channing because I think, if anything, it's recognizing that there is a big deal moving forward here, and it's just not being mentioned quite enough. But now, with the research that we've done over, let's face it, about 3 years now, it's being confirmed. It's being solidified, Channing.
I 1000% agree. It's like what that paper just said. If you go back to that first paper really fast, the first one that talked about Quant and Overledger, those last two you just did, go back to the first one because it says something that you kind of sort of went by. So as you can see from when he just pulled this back up is the ISO TC307 standard. It's right there. Literally understand what that is and understand what Quant's slogan used to be before being the foundation of digital finance. It literally was the standard for building on blockchain. Think about what that is. Think about what that means. That we are the standard for any institutional grade player out there, whether you're a central bank, whether you're a country like England, whether you are a platform like Oracle that is a worldwide reach, whether you are whoever you are, if you are an institutional player, you can come back to the screen real fast, Maximus, that you're going to have to utilize the institutional standard, the global standard that is coming out of the ISO global standard setting body. That is the reason why it is referenced right there in that particular paragraph that he was just reading. And it specifically says quants, technology, Overledger. It's because it is the standard. It is, if you want to come to market, if you want to do business, if you want to actually start growing in this space, you have to utilize the standard. That is the same way when any other standard gets put in place. That's the reason why we have standards, so that you can have this seamless integration amongst whatever that market is calling for, whether that's charging, whether that's, if you're talking about light switches, whether that is whatever it is, as far as that industry is concerned, it's a standard. And Overledger technology is associated with the standard for global building on blockchain that 60 plus countries have adopted to and have mirroring committees of, which means that we have this mirror committee in our country that mirrors the standard to ensure that everyone in the country within that industry uses the same technology and standards, so that we still have seamless integration, just like we have with the internet of today. It is the www, a global standard, so that globally we can all do what we do with the internet seamlessly in seconds. That is what quant technology, Overledger, that operating system, that is what that is bringing to the realm of Web3. Literally a institutional grade standard. And if it's institutional grade, that means all of the institutional clients that fall up under that will be utilizing the standard. How it trickles down to, if we're on Facebook, that's the institution. But all of the people on Facebook, that's the client. It's going to be the same exact thing with banking. It's going to be the same exact thing with mortgage companies. It's going to be the same exact thing with every industry you could possibly think of, from produce to Walmart to Target. All of them will have some type of integration with Web3, because they're going to want to operate in literally the digital age that's coming forward, that our now president keeps saying and keeps mentioning. Like I say all the time, listen to what world leaders say. No matter what you think about him or not, he's saying these things for a reason, and it's in unison with other global leaders. You just now had CEOs on the I want to say Fox Business and MSNBC during Davos week, and they all are saying the same things about blockchain and crypto technology and DLT. Think about this, you guys. This process, this age is moving forward rapidly, and there's no stopping it. There's no putting it back in the box. No more putting the lid on it. It's done. Pandora's box has been opened, and now it's just time, as more and more years go forward, of mass adoption of it, as different industries start to pick up steam in it, because it's going to happen. But I kick it back to you.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. It is happening. It's just we don't have the whole thing of that clarity, those regulations. But to me, that's the on switch, and it's just inevitable that that will happen. So as this comes up on your screen, you're going to see another key thing here, and basically it's from another source. We like to provide you guys multiple sources, and what you have here is from this guy. I've been recently following him. His name is Zephyr, if I'm not mistaken, at El Shreddo. So, Quant Network, Oracle. Okay, look at this. Just, again, pounding it home. What do you see? Overledger is now available on Oracle Cloud Marketplace. Overledger provides a single API to enable interoperability. He shared this just a few days ago. Okay. This extends the power of Oracle Cloud and Oracle Blockchain Platform, accessing new markets and DLNs with multi-DLT applications. And like you see on the bottom, Quant Overledger Enterprise DLT Interoperability Gateway 1.5, by the way, now available on Oracle Cloud. So take you to this next part. White House, because remember you just heard the whole thing of Channing talking about Trump and so on. So the White House is negotiating for Oracle to take control of TikTok, allowing the app to be unbanned. I mentioned this in the X space that I felt as though there was going to be some significance here and that you would see some things. Well, I mean, call it what you want, right? This was posted originally on January 26th. Yeah, this year, 2025, not last year, this year. Interesting to see, again, some of these key things to say the least. And jumping more into it, we did promise you guys a little bit of Ripple XRP. Well, how do we tie this into the mix? Well, understand that Elon Musk moved both SpaceX and X headquarters to Texas, leaving, of course, California. Ripple just got a money transmitter license in Texas. X payments could become half the global financial system. Connect the dots. XRP, X money. Now, emphasis will be on this whole thing of X money. And, you know, we provided you guys the whole update in the past of SpaceX and even NASA with Overledger integration. So again, shout out to Amalia, Crypto Barbie for the excellent info. But again, I want to take you to this next part. Because when we get into this next part, shout out to our brother in the community, Sebastian. You know, he has this snippet shared from Quant Papa, who's been absent from X for quite a while. But, you know, shout out to our brother Quant Papa. He's always listening in the background, always providing great research still. Gilbert knew back then already that this was happening. Now look at this. This is from December 3rd of 2019, and I believe that this guy's from Constellation Dag, if I'm not mistaken. And it's understanding that, Quant X, you know, think about it for a moment. Think about how it took time for this to come together, right? That's worth pointing out. And again, back in those days, Twitter was still Twitter, it wasn't X. But again, how does this really unravel? Okay, so listen to this. It's a minute and a half, and then we'll jump back to the final findings of the day with the research. Here we go.
Is securing streaming data processes. You think about all the data that Twitter produces every second. Well, how do you secure that? How do you put that on a distributed ledger technology? You have to rethink the entire architecture.
Ways to do payments using an existing platform like Twitter.
An example with Twitter, my view is that that's going to be a payment system. It's undergoing a lot of turmoil right now, and we all know why. And
Gilbert talk about is about compatibility. How do we make solutions that are compatible to existing data management solutions that developers are currently using?
Transactions or financial services that leverage that network connectivity, the human side. So I think where we're seeing things evolving is that mass explosion of new types of digital assets, new types of money, and the new types of human-to-human transactions or business-to-business transactions. If you look at what's happening, I mean, just an example with Twitter, my view is that's going to be a payment system. It's undergoing a lot of turmoil right now, and we all know why. And but I think that's kind of the start of a new human-to-human ways to do payments using an existing platform like Twitter. So having that connected to bank systems, to central bank digital currency systems, peer-to-peer systems, we're going to have a new type of world. It's very hyper-connected. So I think 23 is the start of that.
All right, start of it. But where are we at now? Well, I think where we're at right now is understanding that there's a lot more to it than meets the eye, right? Not Transformers or anything, but kind of corny to mention that. But anyway, I want to give a shout out to this guy, and this is going to finalize it. His name is Ernest Rod at Titus_Rod_. I love it when people send me things in my DMs. It just kind of helps with the research, right? Especially if you have something solid. So again, if you do, I just want to point this out. I haven't done this in a while, but you could give me a follow over at DPG Maximus. It's over on the top of Channing's screen, as you see right there. You can also follow Channing. And Channing, you want to share real quick what your X is?
It's King Channing.
All right. Drop us some DMs. And if you got something solid, we'll definitely give you guys a shout out. It's community involvement. I think it's a good thing to do. So jumping back into this, let's pull this up real quick. And basically, to wrap things up, again, I want to share some key things with you. So this gentleman here, Ernest Rod, man, he had a great finding. And what you see on the screen here is it all, you know, the same exact time? What a coincidence. Quant QNT, Oracle, Starlink QNT. I mean, think about it. You know, don't overthink it. We are excited, says Oracle, to work with Starlink to provide our industry cloud application customers with reliable satellite connectivity from nearly anywhere. And again, think about it. Oracle, part of the Quant network ecosystem. Oracle, part of JP Morgan's ecosystem. We're talking about payments here. So, you know, does Oracle hit two birds with one stone when it comes to private and public? I think the answer is yes. And then on top of that, Gilbert Verdian giving his own 2 cents. And look at this. I'm blowing up for you guys. This is great stuff. Well done, Elon Musk. Look forward to Starlink page. Build the future. Yeah, Gilbert Verdian. This is coming into fruition. How so? Well, look what it says on the screen. Order confirmed. Thank you for your order. You will receive a confirmation email shortly with information on what to expect next. And what would be next? Well, boil it, mash it, stick it in stew. Make integration. SpaceX says to get a Starlink satellite, they're going to make an API call over to the Overledger. Overledger is going to send that back to SpaceX to search for, like, okay, well, who's wanting to do something here? You know, what astronaut wants to do something here? Well, find out what satellite or whatever, right? May not even be an astronaut, right? I'm just saying examples, communication devices, and so on. They kick it back to Overledger to prepare a smart contract transaction. Then back to SpaceX to search which satellite that's going to be. Then once they know that, Overledger is going to sign that smart contract transaction. When we talk about API everything, understand the bigger picture that is being presented to you and why it matters. And with that said, to finalize things, we're going to have closing comments from the one and only Channing Harrell, who could be followed over at King Channing on YouTube. Your final thoughts, Channing.
Just think about it. Think about what everything that has just literally just been laid out in the course of this video, the partnership with Oracle and how they are utilizing the technology of Overledger, that operating system, the links to Quant and SpaceX that we've done multiple times in other videos that'll be linked, like you said. Now think about how and what Overledger is and what did that thing just say as far as basically their satellites being operable, being able to literally tap into any other satellite that it needs to transmit information. How are they able to do that? Because the baseline or the foundation of it is a interoperable standard. Think about that. Think about, and then give a Verdian. Now, I don't know what the order was or who on what end was that, an order from Overledger or whichever, but anyway, him posting that saying, you know, order confirmation, that's just confirmation. That's leaving breadcrumbs like he always does, like Hansel and Gretel, you know, dropping them to get back to grandmama's house. You guys, he is leaving at this point, not even crumbs. I'm talking whole loaves of bread out there. We have to pick up what he's putting down indirectly, because I'm more than sure of things like non-disclosure agreements in place, that certain things can't be announced until it's actually time to make those big media announcements. So like this, that was just confirmation after confirmation after confirmation after confirmation in regards to Overledger, in regards to how Overledger is tied into standards, how Overledger is tied into operating systems like Oracle, and how Oracle customers will be using that operating system to build their DLTs, and how they will be interoperating with each other and amongst other DLTs. Like, it just solidifies what Quant Network has done and the information that is put out there. So if anyone is looking and reading, can truly capitalize on the moment that is 2025 leading into the digital age, the fourth and the fifth industrial revolution converging at the same time, the foundation of IoT that's happening right now in 2025 on multiple different levels, and Quant Network is right there at every single turn. Like, I kick it back to you, brother. Like, that's just incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be more than incredible. I mean, the whole thing with $10 billion, give or take, regards to Oracle, I mean, that's going to be pretty darn tremendous for obviously QNT moving forward. I mean,
And that's
I
just
think,
one.
yeah, it is just one. So, you know, when we talk about API, everything, a lot of people are really, you know, let's say, you know, like dismissing, I should say, the potential of Quant. I've seen people do this quite a bit, Channing, and that is, you know, the current price of the token is too much. They can buy up a lot of the other stuff, not realizing that Quant is a very limited supply, less than even BTC. So, anyway,
Buying Quant is buying everything.
yeah. All right. Just to show you guys an example of this whole thing of $10 billion being added to QNT's current market. Okay. So for one, we're going to pull up QNT. We see that QNT is roughly about a little over $1 billion market cap. Okay. Well, what would be the one that would have basically, you know, like $11 billion in market cap? Because again, we're talking about 1 billion here, give or take, with what QNT is already at. And again, 10 billion added to its market cap would put QNT at about 11 billion in market cap. Well, what we have here is basically this. It would put QNT roughly at the market cap of Shiba Inu. And I understand Shiba Inu and Quant got totally different tokenomics, right? Like, again, this is just an example. So with that said, this is an example of Shiba Inu. So what about going to this site? Marketcapof.com. QNT with the market cap of Shiba Inu would be a 7.42x, which would put QNT at $757 per QNT. Now, obviously, QNT is so much more than just like, you know, Oracle and so on. So I'm telling you, when we make these crazy price predictions and so on, again, understand that there is a lot there that people just don't realize. So start adding up for yourself, and you know, let's face it, there's a lot to it that I don't think most people realize. You know, obviously more than Oracle and so on. So thought I would just share that with you guys just briefly. But with that said, you guys, we're going to wrap it up. We went a little bit longer than we thought we were going to, but that's okay. We're glad to bring it to you guys. And if anything, hopefully we earned your subscription. If you're new, give Channing a follow, give myself a follow, and again, follow us on these X platforms if you choose to do so, if you want to engage with us a little bit more. So with that said, do us a solid if you listen to the entire outline and simply type this into the comments, and that is Oracle, and we'll know that you listened to the entire outline. On behalf of myself and Channing, know what you have, know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. And with that said, Channing, you got something you want to tell them?
Y'all already know. Peace out.
Peace out, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Hey, guys, I just want to point out something real quick in regards to Uphold with you guys. A lot of you guys are familiar with Uphold or heard about it. But if you're brand new to all this and don't have an account, basically there's some benefits. It benefits me, it benefits you. This is a win-win. But one thing I want to point out to really pound it home with Uphold is, for example, XDC. As we know, with XDC, a lot of us have to jump through the hoops of like KuCoin, use a VPN to kind of get around things. This is American-based exchange with Uphold. You don't have to do that. You can get your XDC here, and yeah, not having to deal with that is a great thing. You could also get XRP here. Again, American-based exchange. There's a refer and earn. Bottom line is, if you deposit $100, I get 20, you get 20. It's a win-win for both of us. And of course, that's in BTC, but again, you can swap that to any of these particular altcoins. So check it out. Links are in the description if you would like to take advantage of the 20. And yeah, a win for both of us. How cool is that? Links in the description, both on the live and on the recorded. Thanks, guys. Over and out.